Which type of Lunchables did you like most as a kid? For me, it was pizza. I've always been a pizza guy, and that was, just a fun little thing to have. For any of you that grew up into the 2000s or the 2010s, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Lunchables, these little meals you get in a box, and you can just make a little snack out of it, we'll say. Today, I'm going to be covering Logan Paul, MrBeast, and KSI's attempt to recreate the magic, so to speak. And they have been met with some pretty wide backlash. So they came out with a video that is playing on your screen now. I'm not going to play the audio or anything. I don't think you need it because, of course, it's subtitled to hell. Essentially saying they're making a healthier Lunchables. Now, right off the bat, I will say I'm skeptical of the claim that it's healthier, because even though they talk about it and show the comparison between them and it looks healthier, the same thing happened with Feastables, MrBeast chocolate bar company. And by the way, there is a chocolate bar in this meal plan. So explain how that makes it healthier. MrBeast originally marketed Feastables as a healthier alternative to chocolate, and since then it's kind of walked back the healthiness component of his chocolate bars. So even if it's healthy right now, I have no doubt that as soon as they see sales start to dip, they will go to something that tastes better at the cost of health. And that's just the way it works. I mean, let's not be naive about this. This is to make money. All right. This is not some altruistic goal to feed people that, need meals, because those exist already. This is just to make money off your brand. And they even confirm as such. I also want to talk about the fact that Logan Paul has had a complete meltdown about this on Twitter. It's been fantastic to watch, but that's getting ahead of myself. I'm going to start with DanTDM, who first commented on the situation on X. He said, quote, "What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't say anything anymore. I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust the people who are selling it to them. Do better." He's got me tripping over my words. And to that, I say he's absolutely 110% correct. They are going to go on to talk about, in fact, I'll pull up MrBeast's response right now, how it was just for the good of people. And you could see MrBeast's response. He said, quote, "Lunchables sells hundreds of millions of units and countless people eat it. Our goal is to give people better for you alternative to it. Our turkey meal, for example, is 80 less calories, 60% less sugar, more electrolytes. We use real cheese. They call it cheese product. They can't call it cheese. High quality meat, etc." I'm speeding quickly through it here because this is really just, your classic PR answer. Obviously, eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthier, but if someone is going to eat a pre-made meal like this, which millions of people do through Lunchables, then I think giving them a higher quality version at roughly the same price is a net good, and why we launched Lunchly. Also, as we get economies of scale and can get things cheaper, we will only be improving the product more and more. First of all, I don't believe that whatsoever. This is a business. They're just going to try and make as much money as possible. Food has extremely low profit margins. I cannot see any possibility of them increasing the quality as time goes on. And hey, if it's already so healthy, why do you even need to improve the quality? I'll just say it point blank. Why? Why would you need to improve the quality if it's already so much better? But that's just my thinking. So MrBeast took this down. This was not a very popular response, and it's also ironic that he talks about this and yet he still hasn't responded really to any of the other allegations against him, which whatever you think about those, the fact is he has not said anything about those, including the allegations about Feastables that were made, and yet he talks about it here. He doesn't really mention the chocolate bar that's in Lunchly here, but he talks about it at least. Now, KSI starts to go off the rails. Originally, he was the most unhinged, but Logan Paul has had a complete meltdown, and we'll get to that in a sec. So what you're seeing is KSI's response now. He said, "Looks like crap to me," and shows a couple photos of DanTDM toy products. And readers added context. The Twitter context has been popping off the last couple days. Not only has KSI worked with them before, the CEO of U2's Austin Long got his start by managing the Sidemen and was an executive producer on their YouTube Red shows. I mean, that's really all you need to say. I'm also going to add the context here for me personally that selling a food product is a little bit different than a toy. Like, you're actually talking about people's health in this situation, not just like a little plastic toy that you also sell, by the way. So obviously he got butthurt that people pointed that out. So he said, but he was talking about food, JJ. He was sponsored, then promoted, and made a whole video on MunchPack, a monthly sub box full of food and candy to his Minecraft audience full of kids. Now, I think this is a much better point. I don't know why he didn't just start with this. I assume that he was just so angry he found the first thing he could find and posted it. This is a much better response, although once again, the context comes in. Not only has KSI worked with them before, blah, 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 they're talking about toys again, but then there's a second thing. The reference video is over 9 years old on DanTDM's second channel. This was a one-off sponsorship where DanTDM was given a free food package from MunchPack to try unique food from around the world. This is clearly different from KSI's partnership with Lunchly. Now, honestly, I still think it is a little bit of a weak point from DanTDM, but obviously a small free trial, if you will, of a substance, maybe a test, if you will, of a product, is a little bit different than being a part of a brand and actively promoting it as they've done. So that's KSI's response. And now we're on to the big guns. Logan Paul, I've been hyping this up for so long now, has just completely fallen off the rails. And it's been amazing to watch. I'm just struggling where to even begin. So his original response is fairly well crafted. He says, I'll tell you what happened to YouTubers. We spent our lives creating content and building our brands. Now we want to build businesses. You don't say anything about Lunchables when they face bans for allegedly containing lead, but when we create a better version you're upset, then don't eat it. Now, once again, the context readers are coming in hot, and this is where it all goes downhill for Mr. Logang himself. They say misleading. In saying Lunchables faces bans for allegedly containing lead, and they created a better version, it implies Lunchly doesn't contain lead. The iced pop prime hydration found in the turkey stackums also has reports of lead contamination from the ERC. So once again, this whole thing has just been a battle of hypocrisy, really, and there aren't necessarily any good guys here, per se. Definitely not on the Logan Paul Lunchly side, that's for sure. And they've proven that time and time again that the characters behind Lunchables, Lunchly, I should say, and Prime aren't the most spectacular moral agents. So he responds again in saying the 400 milligrams of electrolytes comes entirely from the potassium in Prime, not sodium, which a lot of people were saying there was sodium in it. He was saying it's potassium. And at first, it seems like a somewhat professional response, but it only gets worse from here. Right now on your screen, there's a video playing of him supposedly running Lunchleys through a metal detector because somebody said, can we get a comparison on the amount of lead and heavy metals in each? And he responded, we spend a lot of money to put all meals through x-ray and metal detection to ensure no foreign materials are in Lunchly. Now, obviously, he's trying to, make it seem a little bit sarcastic, oh, yeah, obviously we do this for every single one. It's clearly getting to him. It's clearly upsetting him because people are really going after Prime. They're going after Lunchly through Prime, which means they're going after both of his big brands. And he can't have that. No. Logan Paul needs those Prime sales to continue. So then he posts again comparisons between the products. And then this is where we kind of get into a little bit of a more sticky situation. So the original context that was added to his thing about it containing lead, there was a mark saying The reference note has been marked as needing more votes. It has not been removed. Contributors from different points of view rate notes, and rating can change even after a note has been marked as helpful. So he says, in response, needing more votes is a funny way to say sorry that we lied. So that's how the system works. People vote on a note and it's irrelevant whether it's true or false. All that matters is point of view from biased contributors. Oh yeah, and they can amend it at any time. So, he's really fighting demons out here. And he's the only one doing it, I might add. As I mentioned before, MrBeast deleted his X comment, almost immediately, it seems. JJ kind of had a tantrum a little bit, if you want to call it that. But he's the only one that's fighting these metal charges. The other two didn't even bother. And going up a little bit, a doctor commented saying, sodium getting rebranded as electrolytes will be taught in marketing textbooks one day. Again, I don't even really know if there's sodium or potassium. I don't even know. Nor do I care, because I'm not buying this product, and nobody should, to be honest. Lunchables is far superior either way. If it's supposedly healthier but still costs the same, it's probably awful. It probably tastes terrible, and then they'll make it worse for you, and it'll taste better. But you should still buy Lunchables. So this doctor says what he says about sodium getting rebranded. And Logan Paul responds, crazy how even a sports medicine doctor can't tell the difference between sodium and potassium. The reference 400 milligrams of electrolytes is in the potassium in prime. You idiot. So Logan Paul is channeling his inner audience with this one, and he's going full middle schooler, calling this doctor an idiot. He really cut him deep to the core. Honestly, I kind of felt that a little bit in my soul. I felt the secondhand shock of receiving such a slashing insult on Twitter. Yeah, I'm sure he's very upset about this. I'm sure he's actually gonna, revoke his own medical license. So then the context section of X wrote, as of the publishing of this note, the community note on the aforementioned tweet has been reinstated. So they reinstated it. Elon Musk is cooked, says Logan Paul. And he says, doubled down and reinstated a blatant lie because I called him out. So he's really just fighting demons. Now he's calling out Elon Musk. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm just going to kind of post the screenshot for the next one. It's not super important that I read over it. It's basically the same thing. Of him just whining about how it, is a lie. That's all he's saying. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. How many times can a liar say it's a lie before you believe him? That's the great question. So as you can see, this whole situation is an absolute mess. It's a catastrophe for all three of them. Logan Paul is coming off the heels of this whole CryptoZoo scandal. Not really a great time to be getting into more hot water in the community, and that's what he's done. Will it impact sales? Probably not. I'm sure they'll still sell a ton. MrBeast dealing with grooming allegations, dealing with child labor in your chocolate factories allegations, and now you're putting the chocolate bars in here. Not really a great time for this, But I digress. Ultimately, I think, unfortunately, people will buy it. But I hope the community pressure is able to get through to them. And it seems like it is a little bit. MrBeast at least has a team behind him to take his comment down. Logan Paul, on the other hand, I'm going to continue to monitor his meltdown because this is just hilarious and it will never not be. So I just want to update you all on the situation. Have a great day, everybody.